What worries you about these conversations that we're having now, that I think all probably health systems are having, and we've seen some really beautiful statements and acts of saying that we're not standing for this, we're changing this. Does anything worry you about working in a health system with these conversations going on? Where does your mind go with that?
One thing that worries me is that new projects, new ideas will always come up in a health system. And I think we've talked about this. Often new ideas get a lot of attention, they're shiny. And so something that has been throughout history invisible or pushed away, it's hard to compete against the new and shiny project. And so it worries me that when things start to die down, or when things become focused on something else, that we will regress to the mean, and people will get exhausted of fighting. And I try to remember that this is something that's been building for 400 years, and that for 400 years we have made very slow progress, but that's not enough. And that we need to continue to move forward on this. And that it will take energy, it will take even people's life dedication to do this. But you don't have to do it alone. And so I think that that's another reason why have your people, because those people, they're not only your sounding boards, but they can take over for a little while as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it goes back to that in-between moments, right? That and we talk about this, and not to compare the racial and the systemic racism conversation to integrated care, because obviously these are two completely different things. But we talk about that a lot with integrated care, about how easy it is just to go back to status quo, how easy it is to just have this erosion of we just go back to normal, and we get out of the things that we're trying to promote. And similar with these conversations, that I think you said it so well, that when these events happen, we get all this energy and then it just trickles and it dies away. What do we do during those in-between times that to make sure that we continue to move that? That's really great.
I think another thing that worries me too is that often these conversations are had among leadership. And we can often, as leaders, we're in a more privileged position than maybe our staff members or support staff, or even people under leaders. And I think that sometimes they try to make the best decisions. However, those best decisions aren't always informed by the people that are having to maybe enforce a policy or do the change. And so with well intentions, we might create a policy or make a change that doesn't make sense for the people that are having to kind of be on the ground making it work. And so I hope that in this we bring up voices of people that would not have traditionally been heard when we are developing these changes. Because I think throughout history, the leaders have tried to do well-intentioned things, and they've fallen through because they don't have the support of the people that are on the ground making it work. Not only that, I think that statements are great. I think they're wonderful, but I think that we have to do the work to support those statements. I think that we have to do the work before we make change, to let our people know that we are serious, that we are here and we're ready to listen, knowing that it may take a year or two for people to become comfortable, be patient, and hold on to this. I know that even putting up signage is difficult, because they're like, how do I have a conversation about this? This has not been talked about. This is never talked about. Am I going to be supported if I talk about this? Am I going to be supported if someone gets pissed because I have this? And so looking at the things, the barriers that come up, because those are not new barriers. They've been coming up forever. Black Lives Matter is not a new movement.